Hello, friends. It's Maundy Thursday, the day that Jesus and his disciples gathered for a meal that we, in our day, celebrate each time that we meet. Sadly, this year we're not meeting, and I long for the day that we can be together again and share the Lord's Supper. Our Maundy Thursday service is one of the most dramatic liturgies of the church year. After we share communion, we go about stripping the altar and all the beautiful items that enhance our worship. Piece by piece is taken away, and we are left with a bare sanctuary. During this pandemic season we're living through, much that is precious to us has been stripped away. Social gatherings with familiar faces at church or in our social circles is no longer wise. Our calendars have been stripped of meetings and outings and entertainment, and we don't know how long that's going to last. Our sense of security has dwindled as this season of isolation grows longer and longer. Our ability to plan for the future is gone. Our lives have changed, but we are left with what's most important, and that is our faith that God is with us in this very odd time in our lives. Yet we are confused and saddened. That's how the disciples left the Lord's table on Maundy Thursday. They were confused by Jesus setting an example of servanthood in washing their feet. They were confused by his talk of betrayal. We don't know what is next for us, but we know the end of the story of Maundy Thursday and Good Friday. It ends in resurrection. It ends in joy and new life, with God always in our midst. That is what gives us hope in this time of uncertainty. Let's hear the story once again that began on Maundy Thursday. Now, before the festival of the Passover, Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart from this world and go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. The devil had already put into the heart of Judas, son of Simon Iscariot, to betray him. And during supper, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going to God, got up from the table, took off his outer robe, and tied a towel around himself. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel that was tied around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus answered, "You do not know now what I am doing, but later you will understand." Peter said to him, "You will never wash my feet." Jesus answered, "Unless I wash your feet, you have no share with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Then, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head." Jesus said to him, "One who has bathed does not need to wash except for the feet, but is entirely clean. And you are clean, though not all of you." For Jesus knew who was to betray him, and for this reason he said, "Not all of you are clean." After he had washed their feet, had put on his robe and returned to the table, he said to them, "Do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for that is what I am. So if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have set you an example, that you should do as I have done to you. Very truly I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor are messengers greater than the one who sent them. If you know these things, you are blessed if you do them. Now the Son of Man has been glorified, and God has been glorified in him. If God has been glorified in him, God will also glorify him in himself, and will glorify him at once. Little children, I am with you only a little longer. You will look for me, and as I said to the authorities, so now I say to you, where I am going, you cannot come. I give you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also should love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. After supper, they went to a place called Gethsemane, and Jesus said to his disciples, "Sit here while I pray." He took with him Peter and James and John, and began to be distressed and agitated. And he said to them, "I am deeply grieved, even to death. Remain here and keep awake." And going a little farther, he threw himself on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. He said, "Abba, Father, for you all things are possible. Remove this cup from me. Yet not what I want, but what you want." He came and found them sleeping, and he said to Peter, "Simon, are you asleep? Could you not keep awake 1 hour? Keep awake and pray that you may not come to the time of trial. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." And again he went away and prayed, saying the same words. And once more he came and found them sleeping, for their eyes were very heavy, and they did not know what to say to him. He came a third time and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and taking your rest? Enough. The hour has come. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Get up. Let us be going. My betrayer is at hand." My friends, God is with us, even now. Good night.